Oh, hello there, yes. Well, it's a new week, and to spare you, I thought I'd do it yesterday. Yes, I gave in and watched the New Culture Forum once again. Why do I keep going on about the New Culture Forum? Because I think it's very indicative of the media landscape in this country. I think it's very, very indicative of where the right wing are going in this country. I think it's very, very indicative of where the money is and what people are prepared to do and lie through their teeth to you in order to get some of that money. It's a grift, no matter how posh the suit is. Anyway, yesterday's one was with Brendan O'Neill, a man who in the past I have said of him that it doesn't matter what he writes, you just have to read the headline and know exactly what he's going to say. He never has an original thought at all. He merely reflects, and as such is a perfect mirror, hence the thing that I'm doing now, for exactly where we are. And this one's basically a sort of Orwellian warning about cancel culture. Yes, it's all very dangerous. He does say that cancel culture is a bit of a naff term, and I must admit I agree with him. However, he doesn't actually suggest anything else for it, and the examples he uses, like Catherine Stock, which you'd expect him to because its flavour at the moment, don't really count, or J.K. Rowling's another one, which, let's face it, she's the world's least cancelled person, isn't she? Anyway, we get Peter Whittle, who says the same thing about woke, and again, no idea what they mean by either of those two particular phrases. We're none the wiser at the end. There's quite a lot of talking and moaning about them, the liberal media elite. Again, no idea who these people are. None whatsoever, because the views that are expressed in this video, please do watch it, link below, are exactly what you might get in a leader writer from the Mail or the Express or the Telegraph or GB News and all the rest of them. Anyway, we get the usual targets being hit, which is trans people and young people who are delusional. Actually delusional, uses that word. Young people are delusional, and I know the latest thing in spite, probably from Frank Friede, is to bemoan about snowflake culture. I'm using that word, they don't, but effectively that's what they mean with young people. They need safe space which they can operate in, because they can't deal with things, they can't deal with reality and the truth. And yet, at the same time, I mean, you know, the irony, of course, it's always an irony-free zone, isn't it, with New Culture Forum, but the irony-free zone here with that is that the people on 55 Tufton Street and elsewhere are forever calling on the government to legislate around what people should think. Now, I accept that probably somewhere along the line Brendan is a free speech absolutist, as he keeps on insisting, but he does seem very, very picky about certain things that he's prepared to be an absolutist on. Like, for example, with the Kathleen Stock thing, the whole thing about the Oxford thing, which of course he's going to bring up because, again, it's just what the media are going on about at the moment. He presents as somehow being not free speech, but those protests were free speech. And yes, to give him his due, he has talked against the government's legislation in and around this in a way that basically spiked this year haven't, which is really noticeable, but leaving that aside, you know, he stereotypes the people involved as being upper middle class. They're just posh kids, ticking all of the usual boxes, you know. For a man who in this video is claiming that, you know, we need more heresy, we need people like in the Reformation that were prepared to say the truth. Well, okay then, yeah, but both of them in this video are very reluctant to effectively accept what that might mean. Because after all, yeah, if you question Winston Churchill around Peter Whittle, he will probably murder you, won't he? Or certainly he'll demand that the government brings in legislation to stop it. And, you know, I mean, this whole thing is, as I say, is indicative of the whole of the right-wing establishment. And I don't know. You know, whenever these people try to present themselves as punk rock, they do unfortunately just come across as the Boomtown Rats. There's a historical parallel which I'm sure some of you all get. I mean, you know, there are moments of farce in this. My favourite was describing Kathleen Stock as one of the brightest philosophers around. It's a bit like describing Jordan Peterson as one of the world's preeminent psychologists. No, that's not what they're known for. And you might just about make out that Sussex University is one of the Russell Group, but it's not really up there with it, is it? Anyway, what do we take away from this? Well, I don't know. I just think it's a classic and textbook example of the kind of stuff where we are. Whilst it claims to be about free speech, it's their free speech. It's not ours. And if you're going to be a free speech absolutist, yeah, do it. Yeah, stick your head above the parapet, Brendan. Just for once, do something different. Go on.